Greetings and welcome to a new session of The Inner Man by yours truly, Sigma Jones, courtesy of YouTube. As always, just want to give a shout out to my subscribers. Thanks for listening in. Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate the love and support. I also want to give a special shout out to my brothers, Kidigakade Jones, SKC, and Paul Bryant. These three men inspired me to start this new series, talking on self-reflection and the ways of the inner man. And what really inspired me to do this series, the Japanese garden in my city finally reopened up. And it had been a while since I visited the garden. And I said to myself, you know what? I need to take a break from the everyday life of business and work and planning for the future and just go to a nice quiet place for reflection. And for me, the Japanese garden is one of those places. And for sure, there's other places too where I can do these type of self-reflections. And hopefully later on in this series, you'll see more of these places that I'm talking about. Sometimes it could be up in the mountains. Sometimes it could be in the woods. And sometimes it could just be in any sort of quiet place just to give my inner thoughts and reflections. And so as I went to the Japanese garden and sat down near the pond, as you can see, with the waterfall and the ducks every now and then swimming by and the koi fish coming by, swimming peacefully through the waters, it definitely had got me thinking. For a lot of brothers living in today's America, we have reached the stage where we have to decide what our future is going to be for us. And for a lot of brothers, that future may not be with the people who are supposed to be like us. And I know that's tough. Some people have a sense of tribalism. Some people have a sense of sticking with their own kind. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's something that gives your life meaning, if that's something that gives you a purpose in this life, that is definitely fine. But keep in mind that you also got to make sure that you're doing what's best for you and only you. Now, you may have people that will tell you that you're being selfish, you're only thinking for yourself, you're only concerned with what matters to you. But what those people don't realize is that modern society and the people who actually makes the world go each and every day, these are the same individuals that think for themselves first, and then they think for others. And sometimes that's the battle for a lot of brothers that we have to fight within the inner man. Should we think for ourselves or should we think for others? Well, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to argue and debate. I'm just here to give my thoughts, and whether you agree with them or not is totally up to you. But my belief is this: as the years go by, and as you look at history, In order for society to move forward, you have to have men who have ambition for themselves. And those men link up with other like-minded men. And the next thing you know, you have like-minded communities, like-minded towns, like-minded cities, like-minded states. And eventually, you have a like-minded society as large as a country. And the thing about those men is when they link up, very little does it have to do with your skin color or deal with what background you come from. As long as those men share the same beliefs, they make things work and they make things happen. And so as I was sitting in the garden, I said to myself, you know what, Sigma Jones? It would be better to live a life where a man follows his own ambitions and cleaves to his own agency than to be a man who has no thoughts for himself. And to me, that's where for a lot of brothers, especially in this day and time and the environment most of us has come up in, we have to understand that we are our own agency. And the only person who can make you truly happy and make you have a sense of purpose in this life is you. Nobody else can think for you. Nobody else can give you that sort of meaning and purpose in life. Because the thing is this, if you have to rely on someone else to get you going, that's only an outward manifestation of validation. And eventually, that validation from the outside will die down. And you'll be left with nothing. Nothing to get you going. But if you're able to develop that validation from within, and you're able to understand who you are as a man first, and then culture second, no matter what kind of days you have, sunny days, rainy days, windy days, cold days, hot days, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to wake up each morning knowing that you are who you are, and you're going to be about your business, and you're going to do what is best for you. And for those who have family members, once you do what's best for you, you're also going to do what's best for your family. And believe me, it's definitely not an easy thought process, especially when you have grown up in a society that makes you believe that you only have to deal with people who looks like you, who behave like you. But the thing is this, sometimes those people do not have your best interests. And you will know. You will know within yourself if you are reaching the type of life that you want to be in. You will know if you are going on the right path to where you want to go. And see, for me, SYSBM is a form of agency to where we teach brothers that you decide what makes you happy. You decide where you want to go in life. And whatever you decide for yourself, stick to your convictions. Because a man who sticks to his convictions is a man who has so much influence over his reality and has so much things to make of himself. And of course, you can listen to society at large, the media and all, and they will try to tell you you should think this way, you should think that way. They will try to shame you into believing that if you don't think this way, you're not one of us. If you don't go down this pathway, you're an outsider, a black sheep. And the thing is this, they never stop to ask you, is this something that makes you happy? Is this something that will give you purpose in this life? Because another thing they won't tell you is you only come into this world with one life. Until they guarantee that there's such thing as reincarnation, or there are other worlds and dimensions and multiverses to where once we die we go into a new life in those multiverses. You only come into this world with just one life. Would you really be happy if you spend that life catering to others, trying to make others happy, but never catering for yourself? Never reaching your full potential? That's definitely a wasted life. And I myself am not going to waste that type of life. So again, the thing that you have to first figure out for yourself is who you are and what makes you the man that you are. See, another thing with self-reflection that scares a lot of people, not just men, is that when you do any sort of search within yourself, sometimes you will find weaknesses that you never thought existed or you was blinded by until you stopped to think. And those weaknesses may be something that is within your comfort zone that you never thought to yourself, this is actually preventing me from growing. This is actually preventing me from reaching the places where I want to go and the potential that I have to become. And so for those self-reflections, once you realize your strengths and weaknesses and you have solutions to build up on those strengths and minimize those weaknesses, next thing you know, everything that you wanted to become in life starts to line up. And things start to manifest bit by bit. And you may not notice it at first, just some small manifestations. But as you come to acknowledge it, they start to get bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually anything you have worked for in life, anything that you have set goals for yourself, they suddenly become reachable. They suddenly become within grasp. But you can only get there once you understand who you are. Once you understand your own agency. And by doing so, it will definitely prepare you to the things you can do for yourself. So as a black man, understand that there may be some opportunities that are not here in America. Understand that your potential may be in another city, another state, or in another country. But as long as you understand where you need to go to be who you want to be, to make yourself happy, there's hardly anything that will get in your way. And so, by listening in to the inner man, whatever that place may be, and your innermost peace, that's where you will find your validation. That's where you will understand where you need to go to make you better, to make you happy. And no matter what happens afterwards, you know that you can still go within that inner man to find that happiness and validation within you. So fellas, the thing that I want to show for you guys is become your own agency. Find out who you really are. And most definitely have the self-mastery to become who you want to be. Don't let anyone try to tell you you need to think this way or think that way. If your path in life, if your inner man lines up with what they want, sure, as long as it makes you happy, go for it. But if it doesn't line up with who you are within you, understand that there's nothing wrong going your own way. There's nothing wrong going the path you have made for yourself. And so before I leave, I want to end with this quote from Confucius. And this quote says this: "What makes the superior man is found within him. What makes the small man is found in others." So with that said, I'm Sidney Jones. Thanks for listening in. Tune in next time to the Inner Man Sessions.